Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we peel back the layers of corporate filings, and today we have a quick update from TENNANT CO. It seems like they are getting ready for their big shareholder meeting and dropping some important dates we should all know. So what is going on here is a company called TENNANT Company, or TNC as you might see it on the stock exchange, is putting out a current report. This is basically a heads up to everyone about important things happening right now. Think of it as a quick bulletin from the company. This report is dated the 3rd of February 2026, and it mainly talks about events that are happening around that time, especially their upcoming shareholder meeting. Before we dive deeper, if you are all about understanding these corporate documents and what they mean for the companies we invest in or are curious about, make sure you are subscribed. We also have a Discord community where we chat about these things, and the link is down in the description. Alright, let's get to the meat of it. The big news here is about their 2026 shareholder meeting. This is that annual gathering where the company talks to its owners, the shareholders, and makes important decisions. They've set the date for this big event to be Wednesday, the 29th of April 2026. Now, the exact time of the meeting will be announced later in their proxy statement, which is another document they file. Now, if you are a shareholder and you have ideas about who should be on the company's board of directors, or if you want to suggest new directors, there is a deadline. You need to get all your information in by the 13th of February 2026. This is important because it is the cutoff for making sure your nominations are considered for that April meeting. It is a pretty tight window, so if you are a shareholder looking to make a change or a suggestion, you need to act fast. This filing doesn't really get into the deep financial nitty-gritty like a big quarterly report would. Instead, it is more about these procedural and informational updates for investors. It is telling us when big events are coming up and what shareholders need to do if they want to participate in certain ways, like nominating directors. Just to recap the basics we see here, the company's common stock is registered with the US Securities and Exchange Commission under the ticker symbol TNC. This means its shares are actively traded on a public exchange, specifically the New York Stock Exchange. This signifies that the company is subject to these reporting requirements to keep investors informed. And finally, the report is signed by Faye West, who is the Senior Vice President and Chief Financial Officer. This tells us that the company's top financial person is attesting to the accuracy of this information. As always, with these kinds of reports, the information here is not considered to be officially filed in a way that makes the company liable if it turns out to be wrong in the long run. But it is still important to note, looking at this filing from a bigger picture perspective, TENNANT CO is essentially giving shareholders a heads up about their annual meeting. There aren't any major financial disclosures in this particular report. It is more of a procedural update. The key takeaway is the date of the shareholder meeting and the deadline for director nominations. This tells us that the company is operating on its usual schedule for corporate governance. What is interesting here is that a company like TENNANT CO, which makes floor cleaning and maintenance equipment, is setting these dates well in advance. It shows they are planning their shareholder engagement for the year. While this report itself doesn't reveal any groundbreaking financial news or strategies, it is part of the ongoing communication process between the company and its investors. For us watching at Corporate Decoder, this kind of report and 8K is usually a quick peek. It is not where you'll find the detailed financial performance that drives stock prices quarter over quarter. Instead, it is about events that happen outside the normal reporting cycle. In this case, it is all about preparing for their annual shareholder meeting and giving people time to get their input in. So, to sum it up, TENNANT CO is getting ready for their 2026 annual meeting, which is set for the 29th of April. If you are a shareholder who wants to nominate a director, you've got until the 13th of February to do it. That is the main story here. No major financial bombshells, just important dates for those involved with the company. Alright, that is our quick decoder on this TENNANT CO filing. What is your take on these corporate updates and what they signal for shareholder involvement? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If this analysis was valuable, hitting that like button really helps. And subscribe for more deep dives. Don't forget to check out the Discord in the description. Thanks for watching. See you next time.